What's up? This is Ben with WODprep. Welcome back. I am here to help you get your best score possible on CrossFit Games Open Workout 17.1. Really quick, I am in no way, shape, or form affiliated with CrossFit Inc. or CrossFit HQ, so please follow my tips and instructions with a grain of salt. They are my own opinions. Whether you're going RX, scaled, if this is your first open, I'm glad you're here. We are gonna help you get better. But really quick, if you want the complete strategy guide to go along with this, with a bunch of extra bonus content, make sure you go to wodprep.com/open. So wodprep.com/open, enter your name and email address there, and then as soon as I'm done shooting this video, I'm gonna put together an awesome strategy guide with bonuses, mental preparation, maybe some nutrition pointers. It's gonna be a lot of really good stuff. So if you want the full guide, make sure you go there. All right, let's get right into it. So here is the workout. Make sure you go to games.crossfit.com to get the full standards and hear it from the people who released the workout. Everything I say in this video, again, is my own opinion, so I wanna make sure you know that. So a couple things to note about this workout. It is pure engine. If you haven't been working on your conditioning this year, this one's gonna burn. Usually they wait until the fifth workout or the fourth workout to have a real deep burner. Well, sorry, this is a burner. And we're gonna see who's been working out and who's been keeping that engine up all year long. So with that being said, since it is an engine workout, this workout is gonna take most people in the 15 to hitting the 20-minute time cap. One of the number one faults we'll probably see is people coming out of the gate really, really fast. So they're gonna start the workout at 100% full speed, and that is a great recipe for disaster. So please, the goal here is to try to maintain the same pace the entire workout. So if you can come out with a steady pace and keep that steady pace all the way until the end, and then at the end, put the pedal to the metal, you're gonna get a great score in this workout. However, if you come out 100%, your adrenaline's pumping, maybe you're doing Friday night lights and you're like, I'm gonna crush everybody, and you come out of the gate and just crush that first couple rounds, guess what? You will hit a brick wall and fall flat on your face, and you might actually literally fall flat on your face during the burpees. So again, don't come out of the gate at 100%. Like I said, it's all about staying consistent. So consistency is gonna come in both movements, the burpees and the dumbbells. I think that the burpees are the most important part of this workout. Although I'm gonna share a lot of tips about the dumbbell snatches and the burpees, I really think the burpees are where this workout is won. So let's start with the dumbbell snatches. The way I see it, there are 3 different kinds of dumbbell snatches that we can do here. So number 1 is the slow transition dumbbell snatch. And that's essentially where I'm snatching the weight up, I put the dumbbell down, and then it takes me a second or two to switch hands. This is obviously inefficient, you're wasting time, but depending on how heavy the dumbbell is for you, you might need to do a slow transition like this. You need to let your body get ready, get your back set, get your butt down, and really drive with the legs to get that dumbbell overhead. We don't want to just pull with the arms the entire time. We do want to use the legs. However, for a lot of people, these are going to be relatively light. As you saw with the people performing it, it did not take very long to get through the first few rounds of snatches because they were moving really, really fast, and they kept the same pace the entire time. So if you can move this weight pretty effectively, what I would say is try to stick with a fast transition. So what that means is that as soon as I put that dumbbell down, my hand is ready to pick it right back up. So the key is I don't want to have one hand way over here and one hand down and then waste a lot of time switching. If you keep the hands relatively close together and be very conscious of switching as soon as the dumbbell touches the ground, as soon as both bells hit the ground, boom, you switch and get ready to pull, you're going to be much, much quicker throughout all of the dumbbell snatches. Arguably, the fastest version of dumbbell snatches is the mid-air transition. So what I would suggest is lock the weight up, and then as the weight is coming back down in between reps, I grab, switch, and then touch and go right off the bottom into the next rep. And you can see here in this video how efficient and how quick it is. You do have to be careful. It's very easy to accidentally jump ahead and start touching the dumbbell as it's on its way up, and then that's a no rep, and that's gonna ruin all of the time that you made up trying to be efficient. Another thing you need to be careful of is when you're doing this, it's kind of easy to potentially lose your grip or even allow that dumbbell to bounce off the ground during the transition, and that's technically a no rep. So don't let the dumbbell bounce off the ground, don't let it slip out of your hands, but this is definitely the fastest way to do dumbbell snatches. So a few more tips about the dumbbell snatches. No matter which version you're doing, you have to pay attention to this. Number one, you are not allowed to use your free hand to press your body. And actually, Vellner got away with a couple, and it was usually his first rep. But when you bend over to pick up the dumbbell, you can't take your opposite hand and push it off of your quad or push it off of your leg. That's technically a no rep based on the standards that I've seen. So make sure you keep your free hand free. Don't let it touch your body on the way up. And then another one that's talked about in the standards is you have to touch both bells of the dumbbell to the ground. I tried doing just one and it was really, really awkward. So I can't see anyone doing it and getting an advantage, but just make sure that both bells, both weights are touching the ground before you start your next rep. And finally, this is a big one. Make sure you are not sloppy in between your reps. So especially if you have perfectly round dumbbells, if you put the dumbbell on the ground and it starts rolling away and you have to chase it all over the gym and you're sloppy and you're throwing it around, you're just wasting time. I think that when you put your feet on the ground to pick up that dumbbell, they should never move the entire set. Keep your feet planted and don't let that dumbbell roll around. Now it's time to talk about burpee box jump overs, and this honestly I think is where the workout is won, and it's where a lot of people are going to do some damage. So the way I see it, there's a few different parts. There's the get down, so how we get into burpee position. There's the get up, so how we stand back up. There's the jump up or step up, how we get onto the box. There's what we do on the box, and then there's how we get off the box. So that's the progression through a burpee box jump over. And we're gonna break down all of the different intricacies so that you can choose your best and most efficient burpee box jump over. So first, we start standing, we need to get down to the floor. There's two ways to do that. We can jump down or hop down, however you call it, or you can step down. I think that the jump down is the most efficient. You kind of just need to splat to the ground. Remember, don't do a strict push-up. Just allow yourself to get down to the ground. Make sure you're perpendicular to the box and you're straddling it, like all the rules say. Just get down to the ground quickly. Don't waste time here. If you find yourself doing a strict push-up, then make yourself do a step down. The step down will allow you to get down to the ground maybe a little bit easier with less fatigue. Next, let's talk about standing back up. So we have to get up before we jump onto the box, and the get up portion is where I actually recommend stepping up. And if you saw Patrick Vellner and Brent Fikowski, they did a step up almost every single time, and that's what I'm recommending too. It just seems, for whatever reason, it is a more efficient way to get up off the ground. Instead of popping your hips and having to jump up, which is going to smoke your hips, it's going to smoke all those hip pop muscles, the same ones that you're using to get the dumbbell overhead. Instead of doing that, I highly recommend the step up. If you wanted to do the fastest possible burpees, you could do a hop up like you see here. So you basically hit the ground and pop right back up. That's what you'll see some of the fastest athletes in the world doing. I'm imagining Froning's probably going to do that. I think Sam Briggs might have done it a little bit. So that the pop up and pop down is a quick way to do it, but it is a great way to really spike your heart rate. Next, once you're on the box, this I think is where the battle can be won or lost. If you saw Vellner, he got up on the box and kept his hips low and just kind of popped right off. So he got up and off, up and off. And instead, what Fikowski was doing when he was tired, he was still going fast, but when he was tired, he got up and he almost stood completely up and walked to the other end of the box. And the reason that's inefficient is because you have to stand all the way up. Now, please be clear, Brent Fikowski will absolutely dominate me in this workout. So me calling him inefficient is in no way a shot at him. That dude is the man. But I will say that keeping the hips low, just like Vellner did in the open announcement, keeping the hips low, jumping up and right off was a more efficient way to get over the box. I mean, the key here is not spending a lot of time on the box. Just get over it. And in my opinion, the hop on and off is the best way possible. Now, let's talk about when we're actually getting off the box. So you can keep your shoulders square and hop up and over, or hop up, walk, and jump. If you keep yourself square, that means when you land on the ground, you have to literally turn yourself around before your next rep. However, if you saw everyone who performed live on the Games HQ website, you saw them actually jump up and they all did a slight spin. So they spun, about, what is that? They spun about 90 degrees or even sometimes 180 degrees on the way down. So that means as I jump down from the box, I'm already setting myself up for that next burpee. It doesn't take any more energy, and in my opinion, that is probably the most efficient way to go here. My recommendation is to hop down or jump down, step up, hop up with a spin off the box. So you can see here the comparison. It's what Vellner was doing, and it's what a lot of other people were doing. I think it is the most efficient way to get up and over the box, and you can develop a great pattern. Really quick, for the scale division, I was testing it out, and based on the rules, it looks like you can step up and over with only 1 foot. So if you have a box that's not too tall for you and it's narrow enough where you can just step up with 1 foot and go right over, that would be the equivalent of the hop up and over. So basically, we're not allowing our hips to get up too high. We're keeping our hips level, getting over the box as efficiently as possible. I think that's the best way for the scale division to approach it. If you need to step up with both feet and get both feet on the box, that's totally okay. The key here is just making it efficient, and as you step down, you can start that turning process. Okay, let's wrap this video up. This is the most important section. What tips are there for doing the burpee box jump overs more effectively? I have several. Number 1, make sure that you use your arms for the jump. So if you're doing the RX division and you're jumping onto the box, do not leave your hands dead by your side. Use them. Use them as momentum. Just a little bit of arm momentum is going to make each and every rep a little bit easier. You'll jump a little higher and you won't have to worry about falling and face planting off the box. It's going to make the burpees easier. Number 2, when you get onto the box, you can use your hands to support yourself as you hop over. Basically, what's going to happen is your lower back might get very fatigued and tired from bending over and picking up that dumbbell every single time. The last thing you want to do is to jump up on the box and bend all the way over. So I recommend actually using your hands, keep your torso vertical, use your hands to support yourself as you jump over the box, and it will hopefully help you get less fatigued. Number 3, box orientation. So if you saw the demo videos, they had these long boxes, and you saw Brent Fikowski jumped up and had to literally walk across the box to get over it. If you have one at your gym, you have a narrow top box, just like the one that I'm showing here. The smaller the surface area on top of the box, the less time you have to spend on it. I would highly recommend angling the box, maybe not, instead of lengthwise, do it the opposite way, so you're going over this shortest distance to get you up and over the box. And finally, this is the most important part of the whole video, I think. My number 1 recommendation is to make sure you mark your hand placement. So it is very easy to make these burpees inefficient if, when you go down and lower yourself into the burpee, you have lots of separation between yourself and the box. On the other side of things, if you allow yourself to come down and you're too close, you're gonna hit your head on the box, just like I did in this video. And I legitimately actually hit my head. That wasn't me demonstrating. So once I realized that, I was like, we have to come up with something. So here's what you need to do. You can take chalk, ask your gym first. You can take tape, ask your gym first. And you need to mark on each side of the box exactly where your hand placement is. So your optimal hand placement is where, when you lower yourself down into this, bottom of a push-up position, your head has a few inches of space, I'd say several inches of space between your head and the box. So I really hope you like this video. If you want the complete strategy guide, we got a lot more stuff coming, all kinds of different bonus material that's gonna help you improve your 17.1 score. Please, again, go to WODprep.com/open and I will send you a free strategy guide as soon as it's released. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this video, tag someone you know, leave a comment below with some tips. If I missed something, let me know. If there's something else that you want me to talk about, please let me know in the comments, or just say, hey, if you've been following me for the past year, if you watched the 16.1, 16.2 videos, leave a comment and say, hey, I'm so excited to be back again for another year and bringing you guys some free content. And thank you so much for tuning in. WODprep out.